This video will show you how to replace the carburetor in your Champion 11,000 watt inverter. Step 1. With the engine fully cool, use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws holding on the battery access cover and disconnect the battery. Then remove the 8 bolts holding on the rear access panel with an 8mm socket and disconnect the spark plug cap. Locate the fuel drain bolt at the bottom of the carburetor and loosen it to drain any fuel from the carburetor into a safe container. Step 2. Remove the 6 bolts on the front and rear of the top panel with an 8mm socket. Then remove the 4 bolts on top with a Phillips screwdriver. Unscrew and unclip the fuel cap, remove the top panel, and replace the fuel cap. Step 3. Remove the 4 bolts in the corners of the fuel tank with an 8mm socket, and undo the hose clip on the fuel vent line so you can lift the fuel tank out of the way and give you access to the carburetor. Step 4. Remove the 2 bolts on the air cleaner cover with a 10mm socket. Then use a flathead screwdriver to loosen the pipe clamp and remove the air cleaner cover. Remove the 2 nuts inside with a 10mm socket. Slide the air cleaner off the studs and remove the gasket. Step 5. Locate the gasoline fuel line and remove it with a pair of pliers. Then on the backside of the carburetor, loosen the hose clamp on the propane fuel line with a 7mm socket and firmly remove the propane fuel line. You may need to cut some zip ties to free the hoses. Step 6. Remove the 4 bolts holding on the side access panel with an 8mm socket and remove the side access panel. Then remove the 4 bolts holding on the control unit brackets using a 10mm socket and pull back the control unit. Locate the small wire connector in the middle of the control unit, disconnect it, and cut any zip ties to feed that wire back through the rubber gasket. Step 7. Remove the 8 bolts holding on the front panel using an 8mm socket. Then use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the screw holding on the recoil handle and fit the recoil handle through the hole in the panel. Pull back the front panel so you can locate the second wire connector leading from the carburetor. Disconnect this wire connector and loosen any hose clips to feed both connectors back towards the carburetor. Step 8. Follow the 3rd wire from the bottom of the carburetor along the bottom of the unit and locate the wire clip that is binding a group of wires. Loosen this clip and disconnect the 2 orange wire connectors. Now you can feed all 3 wires back through the unit as you fully remove the old carburetor and any old gaskets. Step 9. Install all gaskets in the correct orientation and slide the new carburetor onto the studs. Feed the wires back across the unit. The 4-prong connector goes through the gasket and connects back to the control unit. Then reconnect the 2 orange wire connectors, the remaining black wire connector, and fasten any wire clips to secure the wires in place. Now reverse these steps to reassemble your unit. Set the control unit back in place and replace and tighten the 4 bolts on the control unit brackets. Then replace the side panel and secure with the bolts. Lift the front panel back into place, fit the recoil handle through the hole in the panel and replace the Phillips screw. Then replace and tighten the 8 bolts around the front panel. Firmly replace the propane fuel line and fasten the hose clamp with a 7mm socket. Then replace the gasoline fuel line and secure the hose clamp with a pair of pliers. Install the gasket and replace the air filter and secure with the 2 nuts. Then replace the air cleaner cover, tighten the pipe clamp, and replace the 2 bolts to secure the cover in place. Set the fuel tank back in place and replace and tighten the bolts in the 4 corners. Then refasten the fuel vent line clip to the frame. Remove the fuel cap, replace the top panel, and replace the fuel cap. Then tighten the 4 Phillips screws on top, followed by the 6 remaining bolts around the panel. Replace the spark plug cap, set the back panel back in place and tighten the 8 bolts around the sides. And lastly, reconnect the battery. Your carburetor replacement is complete. Always follow the safety guidelines in your operator's manual, and for more help guides, visit the Champion Help Center at help.championpowerequipment.com.